Have you had sex in the Hanlan's bushes?
I did. I filmed some content on Sunday with a really hot guy. I did. Really sexy. And then there was this very, very old man who came over who decided he had like a little tiny pencil and he was like staring at us and like and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And then he was like getting closer. I'm like, no. And then I'm like, I didn't want to yell because it felt like elder abuse, but I literally was like, holy, oh my God, like no means no.
This guy we found on the random fucking this guy I met on the subway.
I barked him. Yeah, I barked him into the studio, right?
I love it. All right. Hello and welcome back to Overstimulated with me, Hilary Henderson. Today we have a Juno Award winning stand-up comedian, Kyle Brownrigg's here. Hey, Kyle.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me. Do I have to like look into any
you
camera?
can. That's your camera there if you want to look at it.
Right
yeah,
here.
you don't
Okay.
need to though.
Hello,
yeah.
I'm Kyle Brownrigg. Hello. Thank you for having me.
And I did just find him on the subway.
Yeah.
He was like down.
All the comedians are down there. We are the sewer people.
That's where they're living right now.
Yeah.
It's shocking they don't allow the gay comics to come out for Pride Month, but that's just how it is.
Yes,
that's just
right.
how it is.
Just get back down there. Yeah, we're clowns in the sewer. We're it. We are. That's what we are. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
the hair.
Trying to
licking people's toes in the
Yeah.
subway. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Progress. Do you have any big Pride Month plans? Have you
No.
been? No. Okay.
Yeah, no, I do actually. I not like plans as in like any kind of like big comedy. Like I have like my show on the 21st of June. It's called It Gets Bitter, and it's literally like every gay headliner in the country, and it's so weird that we were all available. Like I was like, Canada, Pride Month, and that's another conversation. But also during Pride, like I have so many tickets to things where there might be sexual things that are going on with these things.
That's okay.
I might be doing that.
You might be doing that.
I might be doing that, and drugs.
And drugs. Okay,
And drugs
I think
and
when people
sex.
think of Pride,
It's drugs
like
and
this
sex.
is the future liberals are worried about.
Like I got a Noxalone kit today.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're ready for anything.
Yeah,
that
just I mean not to say that I'm going to be like, but like better to be.
Not that I'm manifesting an OD, but like if it happens, I'll be prepared.
Just in case. Gotta be safe. There's probably gonna be some ODing bitch. It might be me.
Yeah.
It might be me, but like, just in case there's a bitch ODing.
It's like you have this on standby the same way kids who are allergic to peanuts can't leave without their EpiPen. They're like, I'm not leaving the house hoping it happens, but if it does, I'm buying myself a bit of time to get my ass to the hospital.
Because I was at Hanlan's, it's like the nude beach for the gays, and I was there on the weekend, which is why I have this lovely sunburn. If anybody is like looking, I got, and it's like,
wait, how did it get like just in your hairline?
Because I wasn't wearing a hat, and I'm trying to work on my melanoma like really well, and it's going well. But there was this guy that I really didn't like, and he was like really close to overdosing on like ketamine, and I was like, I hate you. Maybe I should let it happen. But then I was like, maybe I should get like a Noxalone kit. So
it was in that moment
I decided
this guy. Wait, so what happened to him? Was he okay?
I don't know. You could still be there.
He's actually still there.
He'll be like a ghost, like just haunting the beach. He'll be like, oh, sorry.
There would be a gay man haunting Hanlan's though, if there's not already.
Yeah, because in the bushes, all the gays they have sex in the bushes.
Right.
So that's where he'd be haunting. He just wanted to watch.
He's just creeping. He's like, you third. Like,
yeah.
Have you had sex in the Hanlan's bushes?
I did. I filmed some content on Sunday with a really hot guy. I did. Really sexy. And then there was this very, very old man who came over who decided he had like a little tiny pencil dick and he was like staring at us and like jerking off. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And then he was like getting closer. I'm like, no. And then I'm like, I didn't want to yell because it felt like elder abuse, but I literally was like, holy, oh my God, like no means no. No means no.
Literally. Oh.
Yeah.
But he had a cane, so you were like...
just knock over his walker.
He's jerking off and like fucking himself with his cane.
But yeah, no, I don't usually hook. That was the first time I ever hooked up in the bush.
Okay.
It was on Sunday.
I'm glad we got you fresh off of this big moment in your
You'll have to subscribe to the Patreon to
it's
see that.
Oh, okay.
Your Patreon. We'll
upload
give
me the money to see Kyle's sex. So when you said making content, did you actually meet, or were you being silly?
Oh, I was just being silly.
Okay.
But I do.
I was like, I didn't know if you made sexual content or not. I was like, oh, that's new.
Whenever I hook up with people, I love to like take pictures of them and film them. It's very erotic.
Okay. Do you look back at it later? Or what do you?
Of course.
Yeah.
But it's like I usually do it with their phone, so they have like control over it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I would never like revenge porn.
Yeah,
I'd be like, no, never.
Yeah.
No. But it's very, there's something about a hookup where it's like you don't get into doing anything physical. It's more just sort of like you pose them, you dress them.
Oh, okay.
It's very
So
sexy.
they're kind of like your Barbie doll.
It's right.
Like, yeah.
It's very erotic.
I remember as like a girl, because I grew up in a really Christian household, like every time I like
oh no.
made the lore starts here. Every time I had to like make my Barbies change, I'd always be like, turn the man Barbie, the Ken Barbie, like face into. I'm like, you can't look, she's changing.
Out of respect.
Like, out of respect for the woman's body. Yeah. You can't. You see her nipples that have no nipples, and like.
Wait, I'm confused because I'm talking about posing men erotically.
Yeah, and I'm making the jump to being like, oh yeah, I have also posed people erotic.
Okay, so before I take the picture, I have to turn around, and then I have like a
that would be the respectful thing to do. Is that's what I'm saying? That's hilarious. What advice do you have to any people out there that might be struggling with the amount of Pride activities on their schedule?
Oh my God, water. Definitely drink water.
Naloxone kit.
Yeah, naloxone kit for sure. That's just every girl should have it in her beauty bag for sure.
Come with me to overdose in Hanlan's Beach.
But also like a little bit of ketamine, and just a little bit of ketamine and a little bit of the naloxone kit. Or naloxone. I always say that wrong.
Naloxone.
And the guy actually had to like explain it to me because like, okay, so like if this is the educational portion, so like if you get a naloxone kit, it's for somebody that's on opioids and then they're not breathing or they're like falling asleep and they're not responding when you shake them, and then you have to like, it's like a nose spray, and then you still have to call 911, and then if they're not responding, you give them like a second one. But if they give the first one and they get up, you still have to dial 911 and they still have to go to the hospital because it's just temporary.
It is very much like an EpiPen then.
Yeah. So
it's okay.
Just so you know. So if anybody is overwhelmed at Pride, definitely like drink a lot of water and get tested.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Yeah. I like that.
I always
brought
say
to you by public health.
Yeah, exactly. No, truly. But I always say like whenever I'm like really overwhelmed, I'm like I feel like I'm more overwhelmed than like a sexual health clinic after Pride.
Right.
Like I just oh my God, like it's just
Right. And you might have to go to like the skin doctor too with your
No, but it's like those like Black Friday sales where people
it's like, get them in. That would be okay. Content idea for you. You get a microphone and like people are just waiting in the lines and being like, what do you think your results gonna be? And then they come out and they're like, like.
Well, monkeypox, like years ago, that was like that season's must have. And
did you get it?
No, I didn't, but I did have the symptoms, which it starts with a fever, and then you get like zits on your face. It turns out I'm just gross. I'm gross. I'm gross. But I didn't have it, but I was fully vaccinated. And the gays have actually completely prevented a disease or an STI or an infection. They've completely wiped it out in our community because we take so much preventative action.
Yeah.
Unlike straight people, actually, the rate for like HIV infection is actually more common in straight people than it is in.
I believe that because there's not as much of like a well, So are you saying that if straight people died from AIDS in the mass amounts that gay men did, then they would take vaccination more seriously?
100%. Yes.
Okay. It's really a shame that we can't. It really needs to happen to us for us to be like, maybe we should think about 100%. Others. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, if COVID just happened to gay people, they'd be like, they earned it, or like they deserved it. Mm-hmm. But then Karen in Muskoka gets a cough, and they're like, shut the world down.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's
I feel like we have totally departed.
We've departed. We've
completely departed.
Okay, let's get back to what we love most, and that's roasting straight men. Okay,
yeah.
That's what we're really here for.
That's what we're here for.
And that's what Pride Month is all about.
That's what it's all about.
Let's keep pushing that agenda.
Yeah. Well, because straight men always think straight men think that all gay men want to have sex with them. Okay.
Right.
And it's like, we do. But the thing is then like you really get to know them and you're like, oh my God, like you're an incomplete person. Like this is
a nightmare. You're like, I'm doing this man's laundry.
Yeah.
I'm feeding him. I'm being the emotional support. Do you do your boyfriend's domestic work?
No.
Okay.
Like the thing about gay men is like we're self-cleaning ovens. Like we're self-sufficient. And that's the thing that I don't understand about like gender roles that drives me nuts, because it's like I don't know how to make my own clothes, but if I had to sew something to fix something, I'd just figure it out.
Yeah.
I cook my own dinners. I do my own laundry. It just, I don't know. I think a lot of heteronormative culture is, there's this relationship that I see from afar that I don't understand. And it just seems that, and I could be wrong, that a lot of straight men just love to be babied.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's an extension of their relationship with their mother.
I think
like
so.
I'm not a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
I have no idea, but
Freud
I find
would
it really
co-sign
gross.
this. Yeah.
I find it really gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's also because they have so few spaces where they can be like just like ask for help even, or like ask, you know what I mean?
Because the only emotion they're allowed to express is anger.
Right.
And that's why they actually have the highest level of suicide rates. Again, we're going back to the dark.
This is a sponsored by Public Health.
Yeah.
Like,
like it's very, absolutely.
I saw the funniest TikTok the other day that was like, this is just like the male loneliness epidemic, and it's like a dog running into a little like play crate, but it's open, but he's just not seeing the part that's open, and it's like, babe, you could just go out and talk. Like, you could just do that.
Yeah.
You could just do that. So I don't feel that bad for them. Just, do gay men have the same loneliness epidemic?
Oh yeah, because gay men are cunts.
It's purely personality driven.
100%. Yeah, it's I think a lot more gay men are successful in a dating relationship if they're hot. But then they're always like chasing the hottest people, so they'll never be fulfilled, and it's a very superficial, hollow kind of relationship.
And then if you're always chasing it, then you're jerking off in the bushes unwantedly while people having sex, and like it's a whole cycle. Yeah. Oh my God.
It's me and the old man. Yes, that's right.
You saw a glimpse into your future, and it was terrifying.
Yeah, it's like looking into a mirror of time. Yeah. But then also, I think another thing that makes the thing really successful in a gay relationship, I don't know, maybe in a straight relationship too, is just empathy. I think a lot of men lack empathy.
Groundbreaking. Yeah.
And then when it makes things a lot easier when you can really put yourself in somebody else's shoes. And
well, I think straight men, they don't like empathy is something you learn. I mean, we all innately have different levels of it, I think, inside of us.
Yeah.
And it has to, it's again what we were saying earlier, like it's epidemic. Like if something's not happening to you personally, then you're like, oh damn, this is what it feels like.
Yeah. And then when it hits you, like it hits you really hard. And then hopefully you're able to make connections of things maybe that happened in the past, and you're like, oh, like I was the asshole in that situation.
Yeah. I remember even like my boyfriend, like he goes to therapy, which is like, more than most straight men can say. Yeah. And he was like, I don't get why they're always going back to my childhood and like digging up stuff. Like, how does that whatever? Like, I don't even know. It's like I don't want to blame it all on that. I'm like, no, it's not blaming that. It's just information for you to use, and just to have more tools to be like, oh, I'm doing this and thinking this because of this. I'm like, it's just information. It's not blaming. No. It's not blaming anything.
I mean, my therapist pointed out this thing where it was about like, because I come from a very dysfunctional family, and he explained to me that like there's this theory where dysfunctional families take on roles, and there's like these archetypes, and I was like the clown. And that's, and then, but a lot of comedians, a lot of our sense of humor and our ability to make people laugh, it comes from like survival skills.
Oh.
And and when he kind of, that's not why I was there. Like I was like, what is wrong with me in my career? But like, it was like, it just kind of came up, and I was like, oh my God. But again, it's childhood stuff. So it's important.
We're going to get to roasting men's summer fashion in just a minute. But now I want to look up these archetypes.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of them. There's like a clown. There's, it's the only one I can remember.
Because that was the one that you were. You're like, I don't need to know the other ones.
There's, of course, like an enabler.
Right.
And then there's always a person in the family that is kind of like the scapegoat.
Oh, okay.
And just kind of takes like all the hits, and it just accepts being like the bad one. And like does it for the team kind of thing, so that the people have someone to blame.
Okay, I found it now. Google AI is giving me an overview. Dysfunctional families, the clown or mascot role, often assumed by a family member, typically a child, uses humor and lightheartedness to diffuse tension to avoid dealing with difficult or painful issues. This role can be a coping mechanism to mask underlying anxiety, depression, or feelings of inadequacy. While their antics may provide temporary relief, they often prevent the family from addressing their problems directly, ultimately hindering genuine emotional growth and healthy communication.
Yeah.
Slay, Kyle. Yeah. You really did that for your family.
Yeah. And that's in this year's entire lineup at Just for Laughs. There you go.
That's all of us.
That's how it happens.
Okay, I relate to that because I always found like growing up, my mom was always like, when she was upset at something, she would become angry. And my dad, when he was upset about something, he would become sad and depressed. And I was like, you make a mad person laugh, they're not mad anymore. You make a sad person laugh, they're not sad anymore. So it was a good tool to just kind of.
It is a good tool to have. It really is. It really creates a lot of opportunities to like make connections. But then unfortunately, most comedians were like very socially awkward.
Right.
So we can make those connections, and then we're like, now
we
what?
can't follow through on them.
Like,
Yeah. Well, and I also find sometimes too, like the connections are like surface level in a sense where it's like, oh, everybody loves Hilary. But then it's like, wait, let's hang out like a third time. And I'm like, no,
yes.
no, we can't. We actually can't. Okay. I want to read some of the other ones that I found. This is from theplaytherapist.com.
Okay.
You didn't plan to do any of this today.
No,
so.
that's okay. I'm really good with improv.
Okay, great. We're improvising.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna love it. Okay, so one is the hero. So on the outside, the hero, it's like a perfectionist, like someone who's always perfect, someone always right. This person is an overachiever and tends to receive a high amount of praise and positive attention. The dysfunction is when they become dependent on success and pressure mounts to always be successful. And the face of the family. So they might excel in school and take honors classes and they never fail. But this like limits them from being a full person.
I'm a little bit of that.
I relate to this one also.
Yeah.
Wait, are we just gonna go through all of them and be like wait, no, that's also me.
Yeah, so I was the hero and the mascot. I was like both. But there's this whole book on it, and it's this like psychiatrist that wrote this book in like the 90s, and like a lot of psychiatrists use this as a model to sort of explain to people like coping mechanisms through dysfunctional families.
Did knowing about this for you, like did it change your relationship with comedy at all, or did it give you more information, or how did were you just kind of like sick? I've always been funny, or like
no, but it did kind of confirm that my family dynamic, and don't get me wrong, my family, we're very close and we love each other, but it was a very dysfunctional. Like I was a typical suburban white kid in the 90s. Like I would tell my parents, I'd be like, fuck off, mom. And she'd be like, okay, someone's tired. You know, so.
Just verbally, elder abuse.
Yes,
elder
abuse, yes. Was she jerking off in the bus?
Everything makes so much sense.
Yeah.
No wonder I get
I feel like it's the ending of Beautiful Mind and making connections. Like, oh, it was her all along.
with all the numbers on
yeah,
that. Like,
exactly.
Okay, we got another one. The scapegoat is the opposite of the hero, referred to as the black sheep of the family, has a hard time fitting in and relating to other family members. His behavior is seen as bad and never good enough, tends to be more impulsive and angry. Inside, the scapegoat is filled with shame, hurt, and rejection. So when paired with the hero of the family, the scapegoat can feel as he or she is a sponge to, so they all exist in the same family. We're like
and they take on different roles, and but again, like these are also like generalizations.
Yeah.
But like, cause my sister is a little bit of that, but like not, I wouldn't say she's like isolated from the family.
Right.
Like, but certainly, yeah.
If something went wrong, she was
kind of
more.
like the more ill-behaved kid.
Right.
If you
Okay.
will.
Yeah. I feel like that one was maybe more, I relate to all of them because my brother was like very smart and very good in school. And not that I wasn't good in school also, but I just wasn't, like my brother got like 100s. He just finished his PhD in statistics.
Oh, wow.
Like very, very intelligent. And then I was always like,
I have to be honest with you. If I hear one more person at a bar tell me about their fucking PhD, like I'm just gonna blow my brains out. I'm like, suicide pact, I'll go first. Like,
I'm done.
Yeah, I can't.
If somebody tells you they have a PhD and then they overdose, you're like taking this.
Yeah. It's like maybe it's just like the circles that I'm in or something, but people will not stop talking. I was at a wedding last week for my best friend, and my boyfriend was like, because I was at like the head table, so he was at like a separate. He was at the kids table, and my boyfriend was sat next to this girl. She's very lovely, but like they were going on and on about her PhD, and I came over, and Jenny was like, "Oh, we're talking about her PhD." I was like, "Oh, I have muffins in the oven. Like I gotta,
I'm done.
I gotta go.
I'm done."
And I just turned around.
Did you ever do any school? You never went down the PhD?
No, God, no. I have a degree in illustration.
Really?
Yeah, from Sheridan, and most people that kind of do this program are streamlined into like DreamWorks and Disney, more so on like the animation side.
Okay.
But I did actually meet with like executives from DreamWorks, and I realized that like I hated it. Like it just wasn't my thing, and I was like, cool. Well, I have a degree in a very, very specific competitive field, and this was a very difficult thing to get into, and I did it. And now that I've done it, I'm like,
I never wanted to do it. Yeah.
It's just, I worked as a freelance illustrator. I would work for like Globe and Mail, National Post, a lot of food and wine magazines actually was like kind of my niche.
I feel like it is helpful to have a bit of design kind of knowledge as a comedian.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more for like tour posters and that kind of thing. Like,
Sure.
do you make your own stuff?
But that's
for
more
that?
graphic design.
Oh, okay.
Illustration is literally like drawing and like making things like from scratch.
Okay,
and,
okay.
Like, anyway, It somehow paid less than comedy, if that's even
Oh my
possible.
gosh.
And it was so much work. And I just realized I was like, I found comedy.
How did you know you wanted to do comedy?
Do you know, it's funny. It's so many people ask me this. So, I didn't even sign myself up the first time I did comedy. It was my friend Emma from childhood that like just was like, "You're really funny. Like, I'm just going to sign you up for an open mic." And then I was like, "Oh, okay, that would be fun." And then I did it the first time and I did really well. And I just, something was like, it was just that like, oh,
It, like,
this
clicked,
is
yeah.
my personality. This is, I'm just crazy
I've been doing
enough
this
for
clown thing since childhood.
That's right.
Finally, yeah.
It's time to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's so nice that you have somebody like supportive. That was. Do you think like if she hadn't pushed you, you would not have done it?
Well, it wasn't so much that she pushed me. It was more just kind of like, oh, like I'm signing you up because I was like saying funny things and I was just kind of like, okay. But if I would have said no, I mean, she wouldn't have like put it through or whatever. But
Emma saw you for who you.
It's funny. I don't even talk to her anymore. But like,
shout out Emma if you're listening.
Yeah, shout out. Hi Emma. Hey girl.
It's been a long time. I've been having a great time in Hanlan's in the bushes, so don't worry about me.
Yeah,
I'm good.
exactly. Yeah. Enjoy your like. I think you're on your like 5th kid.
Oh my
hope that's going
gosh.
good.
R.I.P. That's a different life. This is yeah. Did you? And you first started like was comedy ever a ploy to get out of Ottawa?
No.
Okay.
No. I have really bad anxiety, so I like to kind of just like stay at home and stare at a wall.
Okay. Cool.
In black and white, and just Evanescence is playing in the background all the time. Just I'm so tired.
What's it's like one that's like wake me up, bring me back. That one that was like the most popular one. Yeah.
They won like best new artist at the Grammys, and then like they were like, okay, bye. But no, I like to kind of just because I recently got a visa for the UK and like that's giving me so much diarrhea because I'm like, oh my God, like moving to Toronto was a huge deal. But I knew that I had, because so Ottawa comedy, we have 2 clubs. It's Yuck Yucks and Absolute Comedy. And we have produced Ottawa some of the best comedians like in the world. You have Norm Macdonald, Mike McDonald, Tom Green, John Doerr, a lot of really fantastic, Rebecca Kohler, like a lot of amazing.
We'll put a full list in the description because there's people.
Yeah, just a lot of amazing comedians have come out of Ottawa, and it's because I think politically speaking, the city is somewhere in the middle. You have a lot of government workers.
Right.
Toronto is extremely left. Alberta is extremely right. When you're in a city like Ottawa, comedy-wise, you can kind of just say you can be more experimental and you can really try things and it's okay and you really find your voice, but there's not a lot of stage time, but it's good stage time because it's only club shows. There's no open mics. So when I was starting, there was no such thing as open mics. I got them maybe like 2 or 3 times a month.
But it was like really high quality.
But it was really high quality stuff that you really learned from it. And then I realized that when I was moving up and winning a lot of stuff, and like I got to open for like Jeff Ross at like I even opened at like a stadium. I was winning all the competitions, and I was like, okay, this is clearly something.
You like peaked in Ottawa.
And so like I need to move on. And in Ottawa, what people do, I mean, at that point it was like Rebecca Reeds and Adrian Kronk, and
I didn't know if they were from Ottawa as well.
Oh yeah, and like Alex Wood, and everybody moved. Well, originally she's from Lindsay, but then she went to school in Ottawa, and then moved to Toronto. Actually, when I moved to Toronto, she like got me a job at like this Dooney's Cafe on Bloor, and like we worked together for like a long time.
Wait, that's beautiful. Your little connections that take you,
And then the restaurant or cafe or whatever like closed, and then she and I both decided like let's do this full time. And, but I digress. The point is I came to Toronto just to take it to the next level, and then I signed to Yucks when I arrived. No thanks to Michelle Shaughnessy. Shout out to Michelle. And I mean, obviously the rest is history, but it was just to pursue this.
Yeah. It wasn't to pursue Hanlan's, but a happy
that was a nice
accident.
little bonus, though. Yeah. That was more, because I was so focused on, I didn't really have like gay friends until I was in like my early 30s.
Really?
Yeah. There's no gay community in Ottawa.
Baby, I'm just imagining baby Kyle.
Yeah.
Like,
truly, like
staring at the wall because he truly had to.
I had to. Yeah. Well, having the anxiety like doesn't help, and like I have really bad like depression, and I used to have really bad panic attacks. But like, and I'm unmedicated, free range. But like I'm just, but like being all of those things, and then like trying to it's a very common thing in the gay community in your 30s. It's called second adolescence because you finally like realize that there's something wrong with you, and then like you're also like a little bit hotter, and like you've been like working out, and it's like
you have some disposable income, 100%, hopefully, yeah.
And like in 30s, like straight people just go because they're like starting to get married and have kids, and they just like
and their lives are over as they know it.
Yeah, it's like like the ending of like oh my god, what's just that Indiana Jones movie where he drinks from the wrong cup and then he just starts like rotting and dies? Like, wait, what was it? I heard it. It's the Holy Grail one.
Yeah.
So it was Raiders of the Lost Ark.
And you were like, you chose the wrong glass, babe.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have. Which is Emma with the 3 kids, you chose the wrong glass. No.
Yeah, the wrong golden chalice. Yeah. And so gay people don't have kids, and no one gets married, and like a lot of them are single because, like I said, like we're cunts.
Yeah.
So everybody is like fucking, and it's just like this party that you're suddenly invited to in your 30s.
And it's like you're 15 again or whatever.
100%, because we never got to go to prom. We never got to go to the dance. It was mostly just like surviving.
Right.
And so in your 30s.
And all like the masking that you,
100%. Yeah. And also it depends like what era you're from, right? Like, I mean, it was like, I didn't come from the Lady Gaga Glee era. The only thing that we had growing up was Tom Hanks in Philadelphia. And we had Rent, which is a super fun musical about AIDS. So like, and Brokeback Mountain, which ends in a hate crime. So like, that's what I grew up with. And then you're like,
you're that old.
Yeah. And you're like, that's me on screen. You're like, that's you. Yeah. You're gonna fucking die. Because you deserve it, you fucking dirty faggot. That's you, bitch. But then, like, the 2010s, they're like, hey, like, why don't we try to present gay people, like, in a positive way?
Let's put them in a musical.
And the producers
Glee.
are like, why? Like, okay. And then suddenly when they realized that people were into gay people being happy, they were like, oh, we can make a fortune out of this. And then suddenly, because the younger gays are just, I mean, these twinks they're out of control. Like, they're so, like, they have too much self-confidence, like you're like, you need to hate yourself a little bit more.
Like, actually, the body positivity movement has gone too far. Yes. Be less body positive.
Yeah, they're really confident and just sort of like out of control at the gay bars. They're like violently confident. And it's weird to me. I mean, I guess that to me kind of just sounds like I'm like this bitter
You're like
old
an old
queen.
man being like, I didn't get to be like that.
Jerking off at Hanlan's, like staring at them, right? But
yeah, and actually, you know what? I changed my take on that guy. He was probably so repressed throughout his whole life that finally was like, yay.
Yeah. Well, he probably only had cruising culture. Because, I mean, he probably comes from, he was so old, he comes from an era where, like, you'd get arrested for being gay.
Yeah.
Which was, like, hot. Just...
Very homophobic of the police.
But, like, locking them all up together in the same cell, like, that's counterproductive.
Yeah, you have the cameras, you're watching them.
Yeah, I like to be filmed, so.
Yeah, as we've established, yeah.
Well, I don't put my face in it. I was raised right. Like,
yeah. I'm not an animal. Goddamn. Kyle, we need to talk about the fashion trends of men recently. Okay. Summer fashion. Everyone's getting parts of their bodies out that maybe haven't seen sun in a long time, and maybe like for good reasons. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like my hairline.
Just I don't know if that's like commentary on like your hair thinning, that it wasn't thick enough to deflect the sun rays.
Probably.
Sorry.
Yeah. I didn't realize that this was a roast. Like I didn't realize.
Is there any fashion trends on straight men for summer that you absolutely despise?
I mean, I don't think straight men have fashion trends. I think that they basically go to the closet and pick out the outfit that they bought in grade 8 and they just throw it back on. Although I will say that cargo shorts, like back in like when I was like in the 8th grade in like 2002, 2003, that was very in, like Sum 41 kind of like look.
Yeah, with like the skater hair.
Yeah, 100%. But like those shorts have come back in style. So really playing the waiting game with the straight guys and they're just wearing the old reliable outfit from the 8th grade, it's kind of like looped back and it's back in fashion.
It's gone so far, we've gone in a circle.
Yeah.
I actually have some, let me just grab my phone wherever I think it might be in. I have some images that I need you to react to.
Drugs? Are we going to do drugs? Okay.
You were so excited.
It's like inappropriate, but all right. Yeah. There's the cocaine table. I heard cocaine behind me.
Confirm. Yeah.
Oh, the mirror table. Actually, you know what's funny is, so I was the maid of honor at my best friend's wedding, and as the gift to like all of the what do you call it? Like the bridal party, the maid, what is it? The bridesmaids. Yeah, sorry. And,
the maids. I have no idea. I wasn't with them.
Yeah, I'm trying to be those, the wenches. Everybody got like a little glass with like their birth flowers on it, and but then there was like this compact that like with like a name, and it looks like almost like a clock that like you press and it opens.
Oh, that's kind of
And
cute.
there was like this mirror in it, and I was like, well, what the hell am I going to use this for? And someone said drugs, and I'm like, I love it. This is so amazing.
Thank you for thinking. You know me so well. What's your drug? What's your favorite drug?
Oh my God, cocaine. Yeah, I actually have a little bit of a problem that I'm trying to, but it's so hard because the gays, everybody has drugs
all the time.
The time. But it's not like I do it like every day, but it's like if I'm like out with the gays and somebody has a bag, like I'm going to the bathroom with them.
Yeah.
You know, but the problem is that I've definitely dialed it back because it used to be really bad. Like I would do cocaine. I would start like the day before and I would go until the next day at like 1 in the afternoon.
Oh, so it would just be in a full bend. Yeah,
it was bad. Like it was really bad. But now it's like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's gotten better.
Like, you're like, I can still sleep. And like, I'm still going to bed as the sun is rising and the birds start to chirp. But I actually had an ex-boyfriend who like used to also do like a lot of drugs, and birds chirping in the morning would give him anxiety because it would remind him of all the times that he was like walking home. Yeah. Like really, yeah. 100%. So like sunrise was
not, I wouldn't really say like I get triggered by it, but to be honest with you, these days, like I'm definitely drinking less, I'm doing drugs less. And the thing that I actually find really helps is actually non-alcoholic beer.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like a placebo effect.
Yeah.
I find that really helps. But if I am going to indulge myself, I will admit that yes,
you're going full throttle. Yeah.
I like MDMA. It's never done anything for me except for made me super sad the next day or like next week even. And I remember it hit me hard so bad one time that it was like almost like a week and a half. I was just so miserable, and I was like, yeah, no,
that's not worth it.
Not my thing.
No, I've only ever really dabbled with weed and mushrooms,
and you should.
And that feels good. That feels right.
You should stay there.
Yeah.
Because
no one's ever looked at this and been like, she needs more coke.
Yeah,
actually.
She needs more coke.
That's what she needs.
But it might even just like the thing about it is there's a reason why it's so addictive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I would stick with the weed and the mushrooms.
Yeah. That's addicting enough for me, to be honest. So.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got some. Speaking of cargo shorts.
Oh
as
my
we were
God.
discussing earlier.
So those are dad shorts.
What about these ones? Would you, if you were on a date and a guy rolled up in these, would this immediately be like,
100%. Yeah. No, 100%. Because I like a man that like has style, who dresses well. You don't have to be dressed like in expensive clothes. You just have to dress in clothes that like fit you well. And this is really frumpy.
This fits him.
Yeah. No, he looks like a frumpy lesbian. So that's going to be a no. It's going to be a no
with
for
the
me.
Sandals. What about like these sandals?
Again, frumpy lesbian. This is yeah. Like she is triggered immediately by anything I say. So I don't want to know.
She's got to get in her Subaru after this.
Yeah, 100%. She's got to go to a softball game.
Yeah, she's like, I'm going to a softball game. And we're camping this weekend,
yes,
so let's fucking go. Let's
100%.
fucking go.
Yeah.
Okay, what about like a croc?
Do you know? Okay, I think if you are gonna do a croc, you have to have a ridiculous croc. Like it has to be like a ridiculous, 100%, or like one of those yellow. those like mixed neon colors, and have those ridiculous
like
charms
the platform
on them,
ones,
and they have to be
like
gigantic.
Right.
Yeah, like you look like a character from like Kingdom Hearts. That video.
Then it's like you're in on the bit. You got like the little giblets, like the charms 100%. On it. Yeah.
If you're wearing it sort of like as like to wear a ridiculous shoe, then I think it can actually work. It's like those Labubu things.
I don't know those.
Oh my God, you're going to see them everywhere. They're like the new like Beanie Babies of like so.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
They hang off of bags and they have like those like monster faces.
Yes.
I saw like 3 on the way
like,
here.
Those things, Sunny Angels, like no hate to the community. I just don't personally get it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I don't really, they're also like $70 for like a random, it's just like a mystery bag.
For like,
And then you open it. I mean, they're kind of cute, but like, I'm like, they're like a Tamagotchi, you know, like it's just very trendy, but like these particular shoes that we're looking at here, those are absolutely hideous.
The brown ones. Hideous. Also, they're like the same color as this man's skin tone
100%,
too. Yeah. It's like,
wants to blend.
This is an extension of my foot. He's embarrassed about the Crocs. He's like, my kid got these for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't mind a croc, but I agree. Like if you're gonna make it something fancy.
Yeah.
And I really support people's right to choose, but those should be in 4-wheel drive. You know, like he's just at the pool. He's wrong. Like that's dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, It's like, yeah, you got to keep it in sport mode.
Also, is he walking into the water to kill himself? Like, what is happening?
He's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Maybe he thinks they're flotation devices. Maybe. He's confused. He's like, they'll keep me floating. He's going to walk on the water like Jesus here. Okay, what about like a Tilly?
No, it's so funny. Everything that you're showing is literally my dad's like wardrobe. But he has this hat as well. Because he was like telling me, he was like, well, you can put your cards in it. And even if like a hippo were to eat the hat, it wouldn't get destroyed by the digestive system and he'd shit it out and you could get it. I'm like, Dad, what safari are you going on?
That is right. He's in the suburbs of Ottawa.
Yeah.
Like, anyone gonna, yeah.
Like,
you can put like credit cards in it?
You could, it has the top, there's like a compartment for cards.
Oh, great. Because, there's not enough pockets in your cargo shorts that you need another
pockets. They love pocket secret compartments.
Yeah.
They
what
love
if you could put drugs in the hat, though?
I love this hat. This is my new hat.
You could put your little mirror in there.
Yeah.
And
compact,
it's just jingling when you're walking. And you wouldn't get a sunburned head.
Yeah, there you go.
Boom. That's actually, I think you need one. I'll send you this link.
Full circle. We did a full circle moment.
What do we think about...
Oh my God.
Some basketball shorts.
Okay, first of all, these are out of control. This is because you could. Okay, like those basketball shorts that kind of come down like
a normal height,
and they have that like white tubing outline on the side. Those are fucking hot.
Okay,
those are
do
really.
Do you like the ones that are like? Are they tight or are they a bit looser?
It can be either or.
Okay. Well, you were telling us that your algorithm is all men's butts earlier,
it's all
so maybe
men's
tighter the better.
Yeah. These are a hate crime. These are like borderline MC Hammer pants that got like snipped because they were like repurposing them.
Right. This is the male equivalent of being like, I'm just gonna try capris.
Yeah. No, these are culottes. If anything, these are basketball culottes.
It's like, like girls will go to India for a summer and then always be wearing those like 100%. Loose pants. This guy's like, I watched basketball one season, and now this is my whole identity.
Yeah, no, 100%. No, they listen to like one Linkin Park album and they throw these on. Like that's what that is.
I was wondering after Kendrick's Super Bowl with like the iconic bell-bottom jeans, if like I was gonna see more men wearing the bell-bottoms. Didn't happen.
Good.
You didn't like that look? You weren't a fan?
No.
Okay, never mind.
I am not. There's like a pant revolution going on right now that I just do not subscribe to. Like the gigantic mom jeans on everyone.
Oh, like women as well, like the baggy jeans. That's not.
It's one of those things where we look back on our emo haircuts and think that wasn't cute.
Right.
We're gonna look back on the mom jeans in like I want to say 5 years because everything.
Are you talking like a mom, like a high waisted mom jean, or are you talking like a barrel jean where it's like?
It could be both.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people often don't wear clothes that like fit them properly, and I think like the what I often see is the giant mom jeans with like a crop top and then like a massive mullet.
The amount of women that are this is like a barrel jean. Is this what you're talking about?
I mean,
or is this like okay?
She's very bow-legged, or
like not.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the gene or she's very bow-legged.
These ones are crazy. The bow on these. No, I do think it is ridiculous though how like the default uniform for women has become like baggy jeans and a white t-shirt, and like I love that look. I wear that look frequently. It's a look of my people, like I said. But like I think we could do. We don't. It's like baggy jeans and a white t-shirt is like I'm running errands on a Saturday. It's not like I'm going out to the bar. Personally,
100%. And it's the worst is whenever I see like, but this was like this also like when I was a teenager. It's like when you see sort of like teenage girls in groups and they're all exactly wearing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even need to be jeans and a t-shirt. It can also be those like gray sweatpants.
Yes.
And then they have like
a
those,
tight tank top and the big sneakers.
And but no. They have those like slipper shoes from like American Eagle. And they're like beige. You know what I'm talking about. And they have like these like nasty socks, but then they tuck.
Are they like slides, the shoes?
They slip on.
Okay,
and then they like tuck the like sweatpant into the sock. And then the sock goes into the slipper. And then they're wearing like a dirty, like massive sweater that says like Harvard or like something on it. And like, but they're all wearing it. And they all look exactly the same.
But teenage girls, like we're just trying to fit in, you know?
Yeah,
as a former teenage girl, I can say it's really scary to wear something nobody else is wearing.
Well, as a former teenage girl, I had my own identity.
What did you wear as a kid?
I was an emo kid, but I wasn't like hardcore.
So when you were bringing up the emo example, you're like, it was personal. Yeah,
I made the mistake. I went down the wrong path, you know. But you have to, and you're like, if anybody listens to this or watches this, like, it's like if they have kids, you have to let your kids go through super ugly phase.
Just let it happen.
Because they have to let it out of their system. Because if they don't, then they do it in their 20s or their 30s. And that's when then they're like dating.
Right.
And then they're never going to want to, the person dating them is never going to want to date them because they're like, you look like a troll doll.
Let the ugly phase out when you're, when you can pass it. It's cute. Did you, when you were in your emo phase, did you ever wear any girl jeans?
I had to. It was because, okay, so I come from before skinny jeans. Yeah, because I come from the time before skinny jeans was normal for guys to wear. So this was like the mid 2000s, and they didn't make skinny jeans for guys unless you went to stores. I didn't even have a Hot Topic in Ottawa. It was this, I can't remember what the store was called. It was this French store. And they had skinny jeans there. And otherwise, I would have to go to American Eagle. Those were always the best place to get them. And I would wear women's jeans.
You would... what size?
I honestly, I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but I do. I feel like it was like a 4 or like a 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was very skinny.
You were like, and were you like, where is it like the tighter the better for you?
Yeah.
Like,
at the time that was kind of the style for sure. But yeah,
you were like, I want people to be able to see the veins in my balls when I wear
right.
these.
Yes, and they did.
And they did.
And they did. And they did.
And that was an important moment for your development.
Yeah, and but then I remember like I remember then. Like skinny jeans like came in fashion, so I could kind of hang on to them for like a long time. Like I wore them all through college and stuff like that. But then, but obviously after a while, like I didn't wear women's jeans for like too long. But like yeah, there was a time when I had to, because I remember like back in the day, like at American Eagle, like like clothes for men. Like if you're a skinny dude, buying clothes at American Eagle like jeans, it was like buying snow pants. Like they were massive and like super unflattering. And so it just I had skinny jeans for me were just jeans.
Okay, because you were so skinny.
Because I was so skinny. I was like sample size. You know, like, oh my god.
My goal weight at 13 years old, my goal weight of 110 pounds or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never wore men's jeans as a kid. And it's gonna shock everybody, but I did struggle.
You're wearing them now.
I'm wearing them now. I finally am these ripped, you know. I did get my boyfriend recently out of skinny jeans into like more 2025 kind of jeans. And that was a big moment. That was a really big moment. It really felt like the war's over.
Like the war is over. Like jeans like this. They're just like regular
exactly.
fitting.
I didn't get him into any like flares or like any like he's not wearing any mom jeans or any like baggy cargo pants or anything like that. He's wearing like what you're wearing, like a slim,
just like a normal
slim pant. Yeah. But it makes a difference because he like works out, so he's like big on top, but then it's like classic dudes like skinnier legs, and I was like, let's balance this out.
It's like a triangle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyways, if he had a podcast and was talking about my body and my outfits like this, he would be canceled. But
well, you're saying it's positive. It's not.
Yeah, exactly. But I would still cry.
Just tell him to find me in that bush at Hanlan's. Like, just it's fine. Like, oh my god.
That's gonna be the title of his episode. Meet you at the bush at Hanlan's.
I love it.
Kyle, is there, when you're sitting down for a date, what's one thing that sends you running?
Well, the most important thing for me, like this isn't even like a joke answer, this is like a real like answer, is we have to get each other's sense of humor. That is the number one thing for me, because I don't really take anything too seriously, and I joke around all the time, and this person has to have an appreciation for comedy. It's like, what kind of comedy movies do you like? What kind of comedy TV shows do you like? And ours have to kind of align, and that is like the hugest deal breaker for me. Like if because like I was talking to these like really, really hot guys on Sunday on the beach, and like they had the personality of a ringtone. You know what I'm saying? Like just like they're pretty to look at, but then like when you're talking to them, you're just kind of like,
yeah, you want to like scratch your eyes.
Yeah, you're like, and you're like making jokes, and then they're just kind of like looking at you like, what is that? You're like, a personality.
Yeah.
But like,
I actually have one instead of using the ice bath.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. And so, and I realize that makes me sound like a huge bitch, but I am. But truly, it's sense of humor is like the most important.
Yeah. How was it like when you met your boyfriend, or like how? Because sometimes I find humor is like one of those things where you can tell pretty. Like there's certain things where it's like, oh, you just like did not get that. But sometimes I think it can take like a while to actually really understand like humor compatibility.
Yeah. I pride myself in my ability to sum up and judge my chemistry with someone immediately. I've never been on a second date in my life because I'll go out with a person, then immediately it turns into a relationship.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, must be nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
No, I really,
you're like, I've never been in a talking stage ever.
Yeah.
Really?
No, I can tell immediately, and I'm like, maybe it's because I'm slightly on the spectrum, and I just like, I'm like, I have rules, and like,
so
I have to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe. But
how did it work with your boyfriend?
So I almost didn't meet him because I was in Halifax. I was filming. I was at the Halifax Comedy Festival. It's like this TV show for CBC that like no one watches. And,
link below if you want to see that.
Check out my appearances. But it's an amazing gig and it's an amazing festival. And we matched on Tinder in Toronto, and I was responding to my message because I was bored in Halifax during the day. And we made plans on Monday or something like this, and he didn't respond back to me when I got back to Toronto. And I was like, oh, screw this guy. Like, because at the time I was dating like 2 or 3 people at the same time, which I do not recommend. And I
see back to the previous clip of us being like, get tested, everybody.
Yes, right. Yes. Well, actually, it wasn't sexual. It was like I was like, I'm gonna be that person. I'm gonna like try this like poly thing. And I'm like,
okay, it was not
my thing. But you have to try. And or maybe don't have to. I just wanted to. And so anyway, I almost didn't meet him because he didn't respond to my message, and I was like, whatever. Like, I have like 2 boyfriends, and then he got back to me, and he like was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, and I appreciate anybody that like apologizes for like leaving me on red or like ghosting me or whatever, and I appreciate somebody that like owns their mistake. And then we met. And then he was way better looking than his pictures. He looked like Ron Weasley in his pictures. I'm like, am I going to fuck Ron Weasley? And I was like, yeah, I fuck Ron Weasley.
Am I Hermione?
Yeah. I was like,
is this my,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I went to go see his Chamber of Secrets. Did. But no, our first date went really, really well. We just instant connection, instant chemistry. And then we got really drunk because he's Irish and I'm a stand-up comedian. Everywhere we go is a Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. And then we ended up on the news completely wasted because CP24 was like interviewing random people, and then she interviewed us and had no idea. Yeah, it's a really great like first date story. Yeah, and
we need roll the clip. We need to find that footage.
So guys, how excited are you that we're less than a month away from the official start of Pride Month? I'm super excited. Why? Like, what is it about Pride Month that is so special to you?
Okay, 2 things. Number 1, because I'm super gay. And number 2, public drinking, like, it's just a yes for everybody. I feel like it's just a yes all around.
We are waiting on confirmation from that, of course. But can you talk about
send it to me. We'll put it in here.
And my phone blew up. Like, people were like, were you just on the news?
That's
and
so funny.
Everybody was freaking out. And I'm like,
your other 2 boyfriends are like, who the fuck's this?
No, but I literally was like, I've done like Just for Laughs on TV like 4 times and no one cares. But then I was on CP24 News for like half a sip of a wine cooler, and people were like, like, we went into Pegasus, this like bar across the street. People were like, oh my God, you're on TV. Like, I have a beer.
So
like, it was crazy. And I was like, I've been on TV before. They're like, they
just, like, well, not today.
Yeah, they're like, that's cute. Yeah.
that's commentary on the Canadian entertainment scene more than anything else.
Yeah.
But yeah. Wait, okay, you said earlier that like a poly situation wouldn't work for you. Do you think it works for anybody?
Oh, I mean,
or what's your take on
like
that?
we all have our own variety of mental health issues. Sure.
Why did it not work for you?
Well, they found out about each other.
Oh, okay. So you weren't doing it as like everyone knows.
It was just
so this
cheating.
was not poly's. Yeah.
It was just cheating. They found out about each other, and they.
Wait, walk me through how did everybody find out?
So. I just right. Yeah. I triple booked the same Tim Hortons date. Just no. So one of the guys that I was dating, I didn't really like him very much, but like I just kept like hanging out with him because he was like really hot. But I didn't really like him because he was just so stupid. Like he would just say stupid shit. And the biggest turnoff was he had a dog that he trained so badly.
Oh.
And this dog was so destructive and out of control. And he left the poor thing like in a crate all day, all the time. And so the dog was destructive as a result. And I just was like, I really judge the way that somebody like handles and raises their animal.
Sure, yeah.
And so that was like the hugest deal breaker for me. But he was hot. So I kind
What a beautiful mess.
Yeah. So we kept him on payroll for a little bit longer. And then there was another guy. There was another, so then there was Daniel came into the picture, and then there was this other guy who was my boyfriend, but we had this like on again, off again thing that was really hot, and so we just kind of kept doing that. It was so toxic, but I love that.
It's always the most toxic ones. Like the sex is the best.
Yeah, oh my God.
And people should study that. I'm sure they have, but
just literally like it was just one of these things, like we shouldn't be doing this. Like we really shouldn't be doing this. Like we're affecting people's lives. So let's do it. Like it was just.
Wait, when you say people's lives, was he like cheating on somebody?
No, nobody was. No,
okay.
but like I mean, I'm just exaggerating. Okay, but like literally, literally,
we're killing
like,
a baby every time we hang out. It's toxic.
I mean, it was bad. It was bad for us and like our development because like we were trying to move on from each other. But it was just like
like kept going back. Yeah,
it was really toxic.
It's like an addiction where you're like,
yeah, and we both like had like pretty bad like I have like pretty bad like I'm a very addictive personality and he was like a raging alcoholic, and so I'm literally just like at last my love, because I if you're, and it's funny actually when I started dating Daniel, because Daniel like had a good job and he was like nice and he was boring. Like normal 100%. Yeah, 100%. I was like, oh my God, he's so boring.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh my God, like, because I was talking about like how at the beginning of a relationship it's always so passionate and it's so intense. And I'm like, when it's like that for me, that's a red flag.
Right.
Because it's like, it's usually toxic and not good. And that's what I like. So with Daniel.
If it feels like I like it, it's bad.
Yeah, no,
yeah. It's crazy that rewiring that you have to, I relate to that, but the rewiring you have to do.
But the rewiring.
Yeah.
And so, which it's a shitty thing, but that really was the truth of the situation.
Yeah.
And that was, and we've been together for 7 years.
You kind of dropped off the other guys, basically. Like you just weren't as interested in them.
Yeah.
And Daniel was like providing you stable income, not an alcoholic, and you were like, great.
Yeah, well, the first time that I told him that I loved him was over the phone, and then that day I had sex with my ex. Yeah, but we weren't official.
Wait, why were you telling somebody you're not official with that you love them?
Because it's different when it's guys dating guys. Like, sex can just be physical.
Okay.
It means nothing. But with my ex, we were also like super drunk. And then that was the last time I ever saw or spoke to him. Because it was like, I shouldn't have done that. And also we need to move on from each other. And that was the last time we ever talked to each other.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, for good.
And that was,
It was a good
and,
thing.
and that was like, you're like, I'm in love, by the way.
Yeah.
So I actually don't need this anymore.
I told him today. Yeah. It's like, I would have kept that to myself. Yeah. But then we we were monogamous for like 2 years, and then now we're like in an open relationship, but that's very common for men.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, very, very common. I think that's a lot more difficult for a woman to be in an open relationship.
Yeah.
Because it's like emotionally like guys and girls, it's like gay men and straight women we can respond to each other's aesthetic very easily and understand that. But like just when it comes to like relationships and sex, our brains are completely wired differently.
Yeah. How is that? Have you found like one person wants it more than the other? Like how did you initially bring
Daniel
up that
is a huge whore. Huge whore. But that's why we like Daniel. I like guys that are very sexual.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, very
and then
open.
this is like you get the best of both worlds because you have like a stable, secure man, but then you're also like, I can get fucked in the Hanlan's bushes.
Yeah. I was trying to kind of be like the Stepford fag for a little bit at the beginning of our relationship. Just kind of like, very prim and proper, like trying to be like, I'm a good girl. What do you mean? And like I make dinner for us all the time. And like I ironed his clothes.
That's
like
very
sometimes.
sweet. That's very sweet.
which goes back to when this started, and you were like, "Do you do laundry for your boyfriend?" I'm like, "Fuck no," but I'm like, "But I did iron his clothes."
Yeah. So I'm like, "Do you love me now?"
Yeah, exactly. But no, like actually, it's funny. The reason that I actually stayed with Daniel is because years and years ago, I had like a legit mental breakdown. I don't want to brag, and
it's very chic of you.
It was very in vogue at the time. Everybody was having mental breakdowns. I had to have mine, and so it was the only time I ever had to cancel a gig and cancel like a flight. It was like in Calgary. I may have dodged a bullet. And he made me like stay at his apartment, and he took care of me for like 2 weeks.
Oh, that's so nice.
So that was when I was like, okay, now we're like an official couple.
The Calgarians would hate that you skipped out on getting the tourists, giving them their tourism dollars, and you just hung out with your boyfriend.
Yeah. But our relationship and our love life is extremely unconventional, but it just makes perfect sense to me. I don't know how to describe that other than that. Yeah.
You get to rewrite different roles for yourself.
Yeah, but he's more sexual. I really could kind of take it or leave it, but like then I've had like super slutty moments. Like I was at some that'd be really funny if she came in, because I was about to be like, I was at this party like a month ago and I had sex with like 4 people in like one night, and then she like walks in like, "Hi, Susan, this is your section. Come on in."
HR's walking in.
Yeah.
Like,
"Hi."
Do you like group sex then?
I hate it.
Okay.
No, it was like individually.
Oh, okay.
That was more like, how many can I like?
Just like
in one night.
Shoot a rat. Yeah.
It's more like how many, like for example, like it depends what you want. Like it's like I wouldn't go for like full penetration. That's a lot. And also like there's always some guy at the party that like browns out, and girl, the smell is, because everyone's just like, "What's that song by Kylie?" They're like, "Pa-dum, pa-dum." They're like, "Oh my God, what is that smell?" And like the whole dance floor has to like.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I have one more question for you, and then we're gonna go in some rapid fire ones. Okay. But what's your schedule for that? You know, like, do you time your meals? Are you having a lot of chia seeds before?
Oh, I only top. I don't.
Oh, okay.
No,
so you're like, I actually have no idea.
I have no idea. My asshole is an exit only situation. Yeah, and it's funny because whenever I say that, it's always like straight people are always like, "What? You top?" It's like all straight people think all gay people are bottoms. It's like, if we were all bottoms, we would never have sex. It's like, that doesn't make sense. It's because
you're all just like standing their asses out.
Yeah,
like,
it's just
in a line.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
No, the math is the math. Yeah,
no, because it's like straight people try to put the idea of a straight relationship on a gay person. Honey, that doesn't make sense.
No.
It's like, that's not how it works. It's like, it's people who are more dominant personalities and who are more submissive. That's right. All. That's really all it is.
And as we've established over the last, 40 minutes, dominant personality here.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And also, like, I find that the most masculine gays are the hugest bottoms.
Oh.
So,
everyone just wants to be cuddled.
Sure. With a dick in their butt. Yes.
Put a dick in your ass, goddammit.
That'll be the name of the episode. Put a dick in your ass. Okay, great. Yeah.
All right, Kyle, I got some rapid fire questions for you.
Okay.
Can you read us something from your notes app? It doesn't have to make sense to us.
Yeah, okay. I am like working on this joke. It's not funny yet, but like, okay, so like, my boyfriend and I, like, we're not married, but it's serious because, like, he just made me the benefactor of his, like, life insurance policy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I don't have a retirement plan. And, like, I, like, would never, like, wish him any harm ever. But, like, if he was choking, like, I don't know the Heimlich maneuver. You know what I mean? Like, and like, this is so awful. Like, but I mean, like, I hope he dies. You know what I mean? It's like,
just like a little bit before you, so that,
yeah,
you need a retirement plan.
Yeah. So
I like it.
Writing that right now.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
Well, hopefully this doesn't end up in a court of law. Years from now, it'll be, sorry, Kyle, can't help you on that one.
Yeah. This is a joke.
This is a joke for legal reasons.
Yes,
this is a joke. Kyle, what's one app on your phone that you refuse to delete?
Grindr.
Done and simple. See the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Rewatch it in reverse if you need the context for why.
Yeah. It's funny. I don't actually use Grindr for like hookups, which is what it's used for. I use it for attention and validation. They're
I think that's also what it's for.
Yeah,
no?
They're like, you're hot. I'm like, oh my God. Like what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like where am I hot? And then if it works, then we add each other on Instagram, and then we talk forever and never meet. My favorite.
But you got a new follower.
Got a new follower.
And you can't put a price on that.
Yeah.
So.
And Instagram. So Instagram and Grindr.
It's kind of, Yeah. They're both the finest dating apps in 2020.
For gays, they're kind of the same thing. Yeah.
You should invite them all to a show. One time I invited a bunch of Bumble and like Tinder dates to the same show.
Oh, you couldn't do that with the gays. Oh my God.
No.
There would be like an uproar in the streets.
Really?
Yeah, they'd be mad.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't think the straight men that I was doing this to were happy about it. But like, they were like, huh.
Oh, but did they know?
No. Well, one of them was like, because I think I just like been, I don't know, at the time when I was like starting out, you got to hustle. And I would just have the same message. Hey, what are you doing tonight? I'm having a comedy show here. And I would just like copy, paste, send that out. And then I'd screenshot it, blur out the faces, put it on the Instagram story. And then it'd be like, come watch on my day. Like it was like, really was trying to build. That was my PR.
I love it. Know? Good for
you.
And
and one guy was like, oh, I'm assuming there's going to be other guys from Tinder or whatever it was there. And I was like, yeah, as you should.
Yeah.
But then I did feel
bad.
At least
you were honest.
Because, yeah. And then I do feel bad though, because there was one guy who like, I think genuinely thought it was going to be like a cute hang. And at one point I was talking to like 3 of the guys like at once at the back of the room after the show.
Fun.
And it was
you
like,
were in your polycule.
I was.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't think I really saw any of those men after. One of them I actually did go out with a couple of times, but none of them were,
Oh, was anybody like heartbroken though?
No, I do think okay, so there was one guy who came in late. And like I had already done like 10 minutes off the top where I was like, this guy's from whatever, all this like, and I'm doing all this stuff where I'm like, oh, this is gonna be such a crazy story to tell our kids and stuff.
Oh, right.
And then the other guy walks in and I was like, wait, are you from Tinder? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be such a crazy story to tell our kids. Like basically repeated all those like same lines back. So I mean, I wasn't trying to make fun of anybody,
sure.
like, and nobody was like getting personal attacks. It was just like, I couldn't help but use the situation to my advantage. And got this all on tape, put it on Instagram, got a great response.
Right.
So it was all worth it in the end. Last question for you, Kyle. How do you keep your cool? How do you keep from getting overstimulated?
I don't know. If you have an answer to that question, I would love to know the answer because I get very overwhelmed. I think for me, because I have really intense anxiety, the thing that helps immediately is like a half Xanax if I'm like trying to sleep. CBD oil really helps, but if you take too much, it's actually way too intense. But just avoiding alcohol and drugs.
Right.
That really
that helps.
That really helps.
But you're not going to.
No.
Yeah.
It's pride.
It's pride.
But no, to keep myself from going over to getting overwhelmed. Truly, I tend to like I'm very organized because like I also have like OCD, so it's like I do things like way ahead of time in like little tiny chunks.
Yeah, you were very early today.
Yeah, I know. I'm like always fit, and so is my boyfriend Daniel is always early to things, and I appreciate that.
Oh,
about
okay,
him.
good.
That was something that was
the connection.
Like,
yeah.
I could never. Okay, that's another thing you asked.
What's
like a deal breaker? Like right off the top, if they're late. I hate late people. Hate it.
It's doesn't like matter if they're hot and funny. You're like, you relate.
Yeah, no. I've left places after like 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, bye.
That's your grace window. 10 minutes and you're like, no, we're out of here.
No, because what you're saying is that like your time is not important.
Right.
Only my time is important.
Yeah.
I don't care about.
Especially people like don't have the courtesy to be like, hi, I'm running a little late.
Oh yeah. Sure. Even then I'm like, fuck you. I'm like,
I'm out of here. Yeah.
Like I got into an accident. I'm like, wow.
Bitch. I love that you're like, I'm doing drugs, but I know it's not. I shouldn't be doing drugs. And I also, do you have OCD with your drug use too?
I find actually the drugs like elevate or like kind of, what do you say? Like it
they make you your true self.
Yeah,
finally.
like it kind of like calms the voices a little bit. And so that's why I think I like it. I like stimulants. I don't like a lot of people are like really into like ketamine, which is like a depressant. And like, I don't know. Like if I do like something like ketamine, it's like I'm not mad at it, but it just kind of makes you feel like woozy.
Yeah,
and like
it sounds like you've got like definitely a neuroatypical brain. So stimulant that's gonna like you're like finally. I wish this is where I need to be operating.
That's right.
Yeah, maybe you do need need meds.
I do need meds, but because the last time that I was on meds, they like made me feel worse.
Yeah,
and they made me feel like I couldn't I couldn't like have sex. I was not.
Oh,
I was just beige.
Yeah, as we've established, you can't possibly live.
No,
like that.
I know. What am I gonna do at Hanlan? violence.
Literally. Well, on that note, guys, this episode was sponsored by Public Health for sure. Have a safe and happy Pride. Thank you so much, Kyle. Where can everybody find you online? I know you've got a special out as well. Where can we find that?
Okay, so I have at Kyle Brownrigg on like every platform. I'm very easy to find. And I have a comedy special on Crave. I went to number 2 in trending in Canada when it came out. Got beat by RuPaul's Drag Race. She's a cunt. We don't have to talk about it. That it's a Just for Laughs comedy special. It's called Introducing Lyle. And then I have a comedy album that won a Juno called A Liability, which is kind of like an extension of that special. That's like streaming everywhere. And I also have a TV show that just came out on Tubi called Cocktails and Comedy, or Comedy and Cocktails, either or. And it's like a travel and tourism show where I like make jokes and we make cocktails across the country. It's
wait, I can't wait to watch. Is it not out yet?
It's out, yeah. It's out on Tubi, so it's super popular.
Oh, I'm so excited. Wow, okay. I love it.
Yeah, I barely got in here with a paparazzi. Like,
they were pulling him off of King Street. It was crazy, you guys.
Crazy. Yeah.
I love it. Well, thanks so much for getting overstimulated with us. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Kyle. That was so good. Thank you.
It was really good.